James Kaufman, World News Report today. Huge solar activity uptick over the next 2 weeks explained. NOAA has come out to warn us about a sunspot complex made up of 3 to 4 sunspot groups that has come around the limb over the past 2 days. The sunspot complex, not group, is made up of, several sunspots, including 4294, 4296, and 4298. Now this sunspot complex, not group, is made up of at least 3 sunspots seen here. This is 4298, 4294, and 4296, but you can also see an unnamed sunspot making its way around the limb, which will increase the size of this sunspot complex. Wait until you hear how large it is. This is one of the largest sunspot complexes that we have seen in over 10 years. From end to end, it measures over 180,000 kilometers, and at least 5 of the dark cores are individually larger than Earth. Now let's remember, this is 98, 4298. It's a simple sunspot still. And they're not including AR 4298 in what they call this complex group. Then we have AR 4294, and this is a Delta class sunspot group, the most complex sunspots we have. That'd be the same thing as beta, gamma, delta. So that is a delta sunspot group. Then trailing that, we have a beta gamma sunspot group. That's going to be AR 4296. 96 is right here. And that's going to be a beta gamma sunspot group, right? Beta gamma. Now, this sunspot back here has not been named yet, and it should be considered part of the complex, but its own sunspot. So as we can see, the complex is made up of all types of sunspot groups, including, as of yesterday, that Delta class sunspot group, which means, again, beta gamma delta magnetic fields, which are the most complex sunspots we know of and that harbors energy for X-class solar flares. Although beta gamma and even simple sunspots can produce X-class solar flares. Heading over to HMI Intensigram, we can get a better look at the Earth-facing side of our solar disk. Altogether, we have 9 sunspots. Obviously, we have the Delta class sunspot here in red, 4294 that we talked about, and then 2 beta gamma sunspot groups, 4296 and 4299. 4298, I don't believe, is considered part of the complex, and it's simple here. And we have, at least 5, 6 simple sunspots, 3 complex sunspots, altogether 9 Earth-facing sunspot groups. And they're considering this a sunspot complex. And remember, we still have an unnamed sunspot that's now shown its face around the limb here. Again, as y'all know, it takes about 12 days for these to transit the Earth-facing side of the sun if they're near the equator. Obviously, the higher or lower they are, shorter time period to transit the sun. Now, NOAA tells us anything coming from this complex today would be geo-effective towards Earth. This sunspot group is on the southern hemisphere of our sun. Now, we thought that was the big problem until late yesterday, right? when an unnamed sunspot group hurled an X 1.9 solar flare, which was probably much larger than that. But the sunspot group was partially eclipsed by the sun's limb. That sunspot has now been named AR4299 and is currently a beta-gamma sunspot, as we saw just now on HMI intensogram, and it's becoming more magnetically complex by the moment. I would expect this sunspot to become a Delta-class sunspot by day's end. Well, we talked about the 6 additional simple sunspots that are Earth-facing, and we have 1 Delta-class, 2 Beta-Gamma class sunspots here, and we have a very large coronal hole that is now basically Earth-facing and will be tomorrow as well. A coronal hole basically means the canopy of the sun has deteriorated, allowing a fast stream of solar winds out of the sun, in this case heading towards Earth. This could cause a geomagnetic storm, as it often does. Those winds should reach Earth in approximately 40 to 45 hours and could continue for 24 hours plus. That could be the start of 2 long weeks of geomagnetic storms, proton and solar storms, polar cap absorption events, and lots of radiation, which means aurora borealis and aurora australis. I did want to take this time to remind everyone I want to do another aurora borealis and australis live this week, later this week, as I know we will enjoy some brilliant lights here on Earth caused by the radiation breaking through what's left of our limited atmosphere and our protection. If you get any great pictures, please send them to World News Report Today, 2 T's, @gmail.com, and we will schedule a live show one night later in the week. Make sure to mark that we can use them for commercial use, and please include your location and name if possible. With all that said, expect more X-class solar flares and strong solar winds per the Earth-facing coronal hole, and get those aluminum foil hats ready as soon as possible, unless your house has been turned into a Faraday cage. I'll keep you updated as things progress, so tune in at least twice a day for updates, as it's about to get a bit crazy out here. Enjoy the show, and please give us a thumbs up. Please share our videos, and please remember that anything is possible in Bizarro World. God bless you all.